I don't actually know how long I'm allowed to play that for. So hello and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod featuring Tina. I'm Melissa.
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Tina.
Yay!
And you just heard the boys are back in town because I couldn't really think of any other clever song to surprise you guys with that expressed my feelings for Crystal being here. And now three of us are on the pod together and it just feels good. So yeah. The boys are back in town.
They are back.
It's a little less romantic than what I got.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm kind of a little jealous there, Crystal.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
I know, right?
Reunited 2 nights in a row, and I had that planned for last night, Tina, but you needed a break because, you know, I'm a lot.
Because she's a lot.
Let you have your break, but I already had Reunited geared up, so that was it. You missed it.
All right. Well, you know, it is what it is.
You take a break. You missed.
But I still enjoyed this intro.
I did too. I like
Me too.
I don't know if we'll get sued eventually. I literally just do the clip and then I just shut it off because I'm like, this is not, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the rules are. I heard from another podcast that I listened to, which has nothing to do with legal anything, that you're allowed to play 15 seconds of music. So I have not researched it at all on my own, period. So I'm taking them for their word and that's what we're allowed to do. So I played 5 seconds.
I have, and I think it's a lie.
You think it's, yeah, exactly. I don't know if we're allowed to do. So, okay. It's getting harder to plead ignorance now. So I'm going to, what I will say is the Reunited song, back when Crystal was on vacation, I don't know if you noticed, Crystal, and I don't know if our listeners have seen it because not everybody follows our Instagram page, but we did a catch up episode and we took a picture and I put it on our Instagram stories. And when I put it on our stories, I wanted the Reunited song to come up. So it was just a picture of me and Crystal and then the music was playing Reunited and it feels so good. However, I didn't look at what clip of the song they were playing and it was the romantic part. And it was just a picture of me and Crystal with this romantic music and it cut out before it said Reunited and it feels so good. And I never noticed it. And then I watched it back and I was like, because I don't know how to edit a story on Instagram. Because
I don't think you can.
You can.
I think it's sent, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, so I was looking through it and I was like, this is just a picture of us with romantic music. People are either going to be really confused or not at all surprised.
Right.
And it was
I went with not at all surprised.
Yeah, right. It was pretty 50-50. I was like, this makes no sense now because it doesn't say Reunited. It's just a picture of us
exactly
low music. Anyway.
Totally fine.
So this
normal for us.
Totally normal for us. This is a Big Brother episode. So tonight we are recapping Big Brother season 23, episode 12, When the Twist Finally Ends.
Yes. Woohoo!
Pumped.
I didn't not enjoy this twist. I liked the idea behind the twist starting out, but these past few weeks I haven't enjoyed it as much as I thought I was going to because I feel like it took away the choices of who to nominate. That was one thing, but I feel like it also made for a huge alliance, which is, cool. It's running the house, but it's been week after week of house decisions instead of people kind of gunning for each other. Yeah. So I'm very happy to see this lifted.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what who's gonna turn on who and who's gonna kind of pair up, or are they all just gonna stick together with it?
You mean who's getting attracted to each other?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. I think
I know.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Xavier's
crazy.
Turned on. I'm like, a couple of times this episode, I was just like, geez. And now they got him in a peach top and are throwing water at him. It's like an episode of Flashdance. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh, we'll get to that. So who wants to start off, ladies?
Oh, I was like, okay, so we started watching it and I was just like, Tiffany is on to Sarah Beth and she is gonna be gunning for her.
Oh yeah. Tiff is fucking amazing. So
she is.
I don't think Sarah Beth's gonna last as long as we had been figuring.
No.
It's hard to say. I mean, it really depends on whether or not I think she continues on with this whole okay, so Tiffany is playing super smart game. because like the cookout is there, but then she's like going around, she's like master manipulating this whole like everybody has a duo who's outside of the cookout, and it's just like so that way we all look paired off. I'm like, you're a friggin' genius.
Honestly, I've got so like many notes about that. The absolute smartest. I think if she can continue and like get far enough or possibly win, I think she's going to go down as a very iconic Big Brother player.
I think so.
Yeah. Right. As long as she keeps you cool, because she did have a little PMSy moment.
She had a bit of a moment there that could kind of hurt her game if it continues.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was feeling her. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? Because I
felt the same thing.
She got up, she said good morning. She clearly needed a coffee. Clearly. Like that was me. I'm like, you right now, Tiff, are my spirit animal because you got up, you tried to say good morning to people, you tried to put on a brave face, but you were just like, you know what? I haven't had my coffee. Fuck everybody.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Tina, for anybody who's listening and not watching, Tina's shirt says, fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Yes.
Yep. So, and that is 100% where she was coming from. I made a note when that was happening. I'm like, hold on, where are we to? Because I know we kind of jumped, but where was it to? Tiff being mad about the good morning feels like every fight I've ever had with Drew when I had PMS. Because I was listening to her being mad about it, and I was like, that is so fucking stupid. And then I flashed back to like 3 days ago when I got mad at him for probably breathing wrong or something. And it's always, but here's the thing.
But those things will happen in the house. Like, at this point, there are 27 days, 30 days, something like that, all together, 24/7. Little things can really rub your nerves raw.
You're gonna get agitated with each other. Like, it's inevitable, right? So when she said that, I had to make that note because I was like, you know what? It's a really stupid thing to get mad at, but I really feel she feels validated. Like she's making it way bigger than it needs to be. But it's because she's just, this is an emotion that like today, she just can't fucking shove it down. Like you said, maybe she needs a coffee, chocolate bar, something. But I mean, the other side of it is too, because as I was saying it, I was like, it's one of those things where like, I really think it's like cycle related because it's a little bit like out of the norm of what we see from her. But I'm like, but if anybody ever fucking says that, because I know one thing, anytime I've ever had a pissed off because I'm on my period kind of vibe, the second, because Drew will say it every now and again, he'll be like, are you on your period? And I'll like turn into this fucking monster. And I'm like, so I can't have a feeling now? Like, and super
rage monster.
So yeah, I think Island fucking held his own. Like,
oh yeah.
Very, very smart handling.
He just wanted to solve the problem. And he's so sweet. I still love him.
I don't know why.
I do too. I really like Colin.
I do.
I like him. However, I think he's going to be forgettable. Forgettable player.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
If he goes pre-jury, I think people are going to forget him. I do.
He's not going to go pre-jury.
No.
That's the key. If he stays for jury, I think he's fine. But I think if he goes before jury, he's going to be forgotten.
I don't know.
I like him.
Made like 50 enemies of people listening.
Right. That's it. Now it's the Crystal and Tina show.
You're fired, Melissa.
In the words of my mother-in-law, sorry for having a good time. Classic line, and
classic Kathy.
It so expresses like perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, I have notes. Hannah noticing people, noticing her strengths.
Yeah.
Is another strength. Because I feel like now she's saying, okay, these people are on to me. They're wise. They're starting to notice how smart I am. They're noticing, the way I'm handling people and reactions and whatever. Now she can move forward and downplay that. So it's like she was up on the block as a pawn, but she also understands that she's, not bulletproof and that people are starting to take notice. So now she can kind of shift and adjust a little bit. And I think being on the block this week will actually help her game in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. She's going to pivot a little bit here now. And, she's very aware of what people are noticing. So, she's going to shut that off, I think, for a little bit, when she's in group settings, I think between her and Tiffany, I don't think you'll see it shut off. I think those two are going to kind of become a good pair. And I really think that they could like really play off well.
Yeah.
They have very similar personalities, right? And similar gameplay, I think.
Yeah, like they both have that strategic mind. So I think, they can really bounce ideas off each other. But I think you're going to see Hannah kind of do a little pivot, downplay a little bit, and keep that strategic mind hidden just a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's a smart player, man. And so I've got a final 2 watch there. So we found out today that Hannah and Tiffany do have a final 2 deal. And it seems like both sides are both fully committed to this final 2 deal. And I really love this final 2 deal. Like
I do too.
I love a lot of this cast. Like this cast, I think is amazing. I honestly think literally any single person who was cast on that show could make it to the end and win. Well, I mean, that's the game, but like, I would understand that they win because they seem to do really well, but I like Tiffany and Hannah as a final 2. I think that they would feed off each other really well and manipulate the house really well. I think they can both compete, and I think they need to be separated. They need to be like, they're one to watch out for.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I think they're gonna connect under the radar. Don't think they're going to let it be known that they're working together at all.
No. Which is good.
They're too good. Yeah. So anyway, they're definitely a pair to watch out for. But
then Azza throws a little bit of a loop into that.
Yeah.
She doesn't trust Hannah.
Doesn't like Hannah. And she thinks, now here's the thing, Azza's not wrong. Because she said that she thought it was the cookout plus Hannah. Which when the cookout first started, it was. And then Xavier kind of brought Hannah into it. But it seems like everybody in the cookout considers Hannah part of the cookout, and it's a 6-person alliance, except Azza. Well, so far that we've seen.
Yeah.
Azza. So
everybody else calls it like the 6. And then she's like, oh, I thought it was the 5 plus Hannah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I think, she's not trusting Hannah so much, which is smart. From what we've seen.
But it also makes you wonder, like, how much out of the loop is Azza becoming?
Right.
And the first of the 6 to go, I believe.
I think so. I think like as much as I do like her, she's I think what we're seeing based on, obviously from the television and what they air, it seems like she has a little bit of trust issues.
I don't know. For me, I think with Azza, I just think she's too emotional. Like, not emotional in like breaking down, crying every minute, but like, she's going with her. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain what my thought process is. Like, she's too sensitive. I think she's probably too sensitive for the game, and she's just kind of following hurt feelings as opposed to like strategy and like a gut feeling. I want to say she's going with her gut, but she's going more with her heart than anything. And I think that'll lead her astray.
Yeah. And you know what, by day 27, day 30, you got a lot of paranoia kind of setting in as well too. So it's like, all that combined with everything else is just going to throw it completely off. Right. I don't know if she has a full read on everything. Going on.
Yeah, it seems like she's a little out of the loop for sure.
Yeah. Watching this back, are you starting to get flashbacks?
Some of it is a little triggering.
Yeah.
There are moments.
You're like day 27, day 30, whatever. And I'm like, oh, she is like going back. Like, that's hard stuff, right? Because it's
there are some triggering moments, I will admit.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Oh yeah. It's an experience, but I'm okay, and I'm like, she's triggered. She's
yeah. You know when paranoia starts to set in. Pretty much immediately.
Right.
Another final 2 watch, Sarah Beth and Kylan. So I wrote final 2 watch, and I wrote thoughts on them as a final 2, and then he went, I'm more loyal to the cookout, and I'm like, oh well. There was that discussion.
I mean, yes and no. Tiffany seems to think that they're a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she, as we know, she's not stupid. So she sees something that maybe even he doesn't know at this point.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't realize how far he'll go to protect Sarah Beth as
Mhm.
well.
Yet.
He says he might not, but when you're actually in that moment, if she starts to become his number one ally, then yeah, he's going to protect her.
Yeah.
He might say that now that he won't, but things change pretty quick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to watch it play out.
Um,
And then we've already jumped to this, but I said, can we please talk about how Tiff is organizing all the pairs for pawns to
Yeah.
take to jury to have the numbers? Like she's already
Crazy.
I know that everybody starts playing the game as soon as they walk through the door, but the fact that she's thinking, okay, this is our alliance. It's a 6-person alliance. We
Yeah.
need 11 for jury. So we need 5 more people, and we need them to be in pairs so that, we keep the cookout under wraps and nobody is coming for us. And that if there are targets, they're going to target off the pairs, so that say a member of the cookout always goes up on the block, but with somebody who's not in the cookout, so the numbers of the cookout, or if they go on the block, so the numbers are with the cookout and we can kind of pull them down, which fucking genius. I was watching it going, I want to be on Big Brother, but man, I would lose if I was on Tiffany season. Like, fuck this. Jesus, guys. Like, my confidence is going down with every episode.
Yeah,
but then
she's amazing.
She
really
is
Really
very
and,
well
and the
thought
thing
out.
about it is nobody's recognizing in the house how much she's playing.
Yeah.
It's like, they're all very comfortable with her. And I think that she has multiple alliances throughout the whole house, and she's in a really good position.
Yeah.
I think she's going to have a fantastic resume come the
Yeah.
end of the show. And I not only think that, because a lot of it, a resume is one thing, but articulating the resume is the biggest thing. And that's the determining factor between like a winner and a loser when it comes to the final votes. Like if you're sat in those 2 chairs. So if it comes down to Tiffany and somebody else, even if she doesn't win as many competitions as the person next to her, I think she's got such a good handle on, her game and the game as a whole. And she's able to express herself so well that when it comes down to, if she gets in the final 2, I think she would take it home over anybody else just based on how she could explain her own resume.
Yeah.
Those final pitches have huge weight in, who gets the final
your vote.
prize.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen so many seasons where and again, I know watching it is different than being in the house, but we've seen so many seasons where people who you would think deserve to win more lose. And it's not even that they don't deserve to win more or whatever. It's that their speech didn't articulate properly why they should win.
Right.
And then so people vote for the other person who was able to explain it better or whatever. And it's just crazy when you really think about it comes down to that. But I mean, the nerves are in, you're so excited that you're final 2. And then you're seeing all these people that you haven't seen for so long. And you're like, oh my God, this is really happening. And your brain just goes to fucking mush, I'm assuming.
But her personality seems like she's a very well composed personality, just all around. I don't even think, if she gets to that point that will even be an issue for her.
I really don't.
She's, calm, cool, collected. She's just a phenomenal player all around. She really is.
She's got it up there. Like she's going down in the books. I really think so.
TV history for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can we talk about Christian trying?
I was just gonna bring it up.
Right.
You're talking about the bathroom scene, right? That wiggle.
The wiggle, the video game thing or whatever, right? And then Xavier comes.
Why you have no flow in those hips?
Right.
But I just gotta say, T, I don't know if you picked up on this, but Crystal, I don't know if you did either, but Xavier's butt in those fucking crazy. I like him. He's my new crush, but he was doing his little hip wiggle and he turned on, he's wearing the gray jogging pants and you look like you could just bounce a quarter right off his ass.
He did have some.
I know. I'm like, I don't think Tina's not this, but I know.
It's okay, Tina.
Right? Did you
don't have to. I always notice an ass. and that it really doesn't make a difference what sex it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, if that's a
exactly.
great ass, that's a great ass.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I had to make a note. I was like, I need to go work out with him because my ass don't look anything near that. Even in the tightest, most enhanced spandex that you would find, I'm still like miles down. Like, and
Oh my God.
just saying.
He's genetically gifted. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't think so. I think he has a lot of squats. But yeah, that
Yeah.
trying to learn that walk, poor Christian has zero movement. No,
He very robotic, eh?
Yeah, super stiff, right? I was like, come on, bye, just loosen it up a little bit.
loosen
How do
it
you
up just a
dance?
little.
he did
right?
like 6 burpee fucking backflips the other day, and he can't, like, you know what I mean? Like, come
No,
on.
he's not built for that. See, that's the thing. He's very functional, but not like recreational, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it made me think of a few things that I was just like, he's probably not good at a lot of things.
Yeah, well, you don't have
That's shocking for me. Cut that part out.
Hey,
God, Crystal,
Crystal, this goes live after it might as well
this
just
is
be live.
it. There's
Also-
no editing,
No
folks.
cutting.
There is.
It takes
You get it
way
raw.
too long.
Honestly, I don't care.
So what you're saying is that you don't think he can put the motion in the ocean.
Well, he can't. I
It's
just
very
saw
much-
it.
It's very much rhythmic, and you're saying he's got no rhythm, so he's got no stamina.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm just saying. I'm saying exactly that.
If we end up interviewing Christian, I'm gonna tell him to go back and watch this recording first.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, sorry, not sorry.
It's not you, Christian. It was TV, Christian. We like you as a person.
Listen, if he could throw down a dance on an interview and show me better, then we're good.
No, for some reason, I don't think there's any moves to a beat on that one.
No,
That's what I'm saying. He's just, and that's what it is. I think he's just like, he's just got no real rhythm whatsoever. Like, I bet you he couldn't dance to a beat whatsoever. You know what I mean?
oh, I know all about the dancing.
Yeah, it's all about the dancing.
dancing.
Yep.
My next note was about Tiffany's little blow up bad mood, so we can pass that again.
Yeah.
Ozzy doesn't.
However, could this be a start of some cracks forming?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Right? I think Tiff Colin, you might see some cracks form there. Even Tiff Ozza.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we saw Tiff Ozza last week starting to crack. Like, Tiffany does not trust Ozza. Ozza doesn't fully trust Tiffany. So like, there's definitely a crack there.
Yeah.
I do think Ozza lifts out the easiest out of the 6.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, but Kyland too, like Tiffany blowing up at him, and he handled it beautifully. And, you know, he tried to pick up for the house, but she's mad. And honestly, I think a lot of it wasn't even that. It wasn't the good morning thing. I think she's really put out and done with Sarah Beth, and seeing one of her alliance members, 2 of her alliance members, talking to Sarah Beth, and then none of them said good morning to her, whether it was a mistake or not. That just set her off, and she's just mad now because she's like, I'm with you guys. What's going on? Are you like moving over to her? And
Yeah.
I think a lot of that came across. But yeah, you're right. I think that we're probably going to see maybe the guys stand back a little bit from Tiff. You know,
We'll
if
see.
it's happening. So I think, go ahead.
No, I was going to say about, I guess we're like where Whitney's pitch.
Yeah, that was where I was going.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain wasn't working there for a second.
You're back to work now, Crystal.
Yeah.
Vacation mode is off.
I know.
Like, Tina is right here waiting to swoop in. She's just
You
waiting.
know, I got my notes. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
My notes are all right here. You settle down.
Okay.
I just
Not
can't
getting
read
the
them.
damn job.
Right. I just can't read them. That's the only problem. Yeah. So
You can't
Whitney-
read them.
Yeah, it's
They're on
really
your
bad.
phone, right?
Oh,
Typed up,
yeah.
and you can't read them.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Let's just back the train up here, okay? Because you held up your phone, which means, have you been drinking?
No.
Because I have handwritten notes.
Mhm.
If you had held up a book and said I can't read them, then I would have just let it pass.
Okay, then I can't read them.
You're pages are blank, Crystal.
That's why I can't read them.
All right, I'm gonna give you it's 11:30 on a Thursday night, the week that you came back from vacation. Go ahead.
Pass?
What it is, the
Pass.
pass
Oh, we get passes, do we?
I guess.
for this
But
minute.
you called me out on the other night about the thread. I didn't get a pass.
It's time to learn that I make the rules as I go.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing real about this. This is like, whose line is it anyway? The pass.
I know one thing. I'm so glad I responded to that first Instagram message.
Are you?
Hey, we thanked you. I love that she listened to the full podcast. We're still super grateful.
And that was sarcastic, by the way. I wasn't genuine on that
Yeah,
one.
I don't care. I don't care. I feel great now. I feel even better. I'm like, Tina loves us. We're besties.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Yes. So we're moving on to Whitney. I said,
Whitney's bitch.
I think it was really smart. It was a good try, but really smart for her to campaign to Alyssa to stay in
It
the house.
was.
It almost worked. Oh, fucking here comes the sillies. Guys,
Here they go.
we need a break. We'll be with you in a minute. I got my button hovering over the pause.
I couldn't look at Crystal. She's down, her freaking head down. Monica's upstairs too. I wish I had her.
She's
Yeah,
trying
here.
to,
Head down. Trying to pick out the
Head
words that I
down, trying to
typed.
pick out her notes on her
write
phone.
it in Mandarin or something. Like, what's the issue? Like, is it a different?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I may have adjusted the font size and it's a little too small for this time of night.
Do you have a pair
like-
of big granny glasses?
No,
Oh.
fuck, man. I had LASIK done. I have 20/20 vision. I just can't see right now.
No, but she's not drunk.
No, not at all.
She doesn't look drunk at all.
It's weird, right?
You look hammered.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny though that Whitney was just like, yeah, well, you know,
What?
Hannah said you can what?
Did you think we were paused, Tina? I hope you didn't just say anything that you think I'm going to cut out, because I'm not cutting anything out.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, good. I did think it was kind of funny how like Whitney said to Alyssa about Hannah was chatting with Christian, how she thinks she can manipulate him, and then Alyssa was just like, oh well, I'm gonna have to go tell Christian, and then Christian's just like, well, I'm not easily manipulated, but then he's but then he's like, well, we should get Hannah out.
Yeah.
Like
100%. 100%.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian. Yeah, good for you. I was thinking that. So that was one of the things that I was thinking while we were watching the show, and it made me think of you, Tina, because I was thinking like with the season. So I know how like you can't, paranoia is so high, like you don't want to trust anybody, right? So you're always wondering who's really telling you the truth. So like I'm thinking about Christian, and I'm thinking like this information comes to him from Alyssa, but it comes from Whitney, and he believed it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, well, her back is up against the wall. She's trying to save herself. And then I was thinking like, was there ever a time when you were in the house? And I know this isn't like an interview, but it's just, I've got the question where you were not sure about Tara. Cause like you guys were ride or die. So was there ever a time in the house where you're like, well, maybe she's not, maybe I'm not her ride or die? Or did you guys just know? Like, is there just,
No, Tara was probably the one person in the house where I knew 100% that she would have my back in a situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
gut
don't.
that told you that? Like,
Pardon?
it's just like your gut that told you that. Cause like,
Yeah.
we see people so many times who are like, well, even like with Sarah Beth and Kyland, she's like, he's my final two. And he's like, I did make a final two with her. However, I'm more loyal to this alliance. So I was like, fuck, that's where the paranoia comes from too, you know?
It does. Yeah. I mean, the first little while in the house for sure, you know, you're going through parts of you are thinking, can I even trust my gut in the game?
Yeah.
Like it's so much paranoia that you don't even know if you can trust your gut. But I guess you just get into a groove of things. You learn people's mannerisms, how to read them, their telltale signs, and then you kind of start trusting your gut a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, he didn't have much gut feeling on that one.
No, he was like, oh, she said what? Well, she's gone. I was like, okay, but definitely very smart on Whitney's behalf to be like, okay,
Oh, it was.
like, I know this guy is easy to manipulate, so I'm going to bring in his girlfriend because I know that the word will get back through them. And I guess she knew too that Alyssa, it wasn't really great for Alyssa's like time in the house or game for Whitney to go home. So it was a really smart move, really strategic. But that's what made me a little bit mad too, because it would have been the smarter move to get Hannah out. And I feel like there are enough people in the house that if they were playing with their own mind, as opposed to like on teams or whatever, that could have been a flip situation. Like if this was Big Brother Canada,
Yeah.
Hannah would have been gone. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying. So that's one of the things that like I'm hoping now as we move forward next week, we're not going to see that like house mentality, right? So I was wondering if Christian was gonna get rid of Hannah at that time though.
Yeah. No, I mean, it didn't make sense for them to kind of switch it at this point. But Hannah being on the block against Whitney and Whitney with her pitching and stuff like that, I think kind of opened the eyes of some of the players in the house about Hannah as well, in terms of Hannah now has a little bit bigger of a target on her back because she was up against Whitney, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
And now that they're not in teams.
Now they can go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it bugged me when Whitney gave her speech too. I mean, I knew that Whitney was going home, but based on her gorgeous dress.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was dressed in sport clothes ready for their endurance competition. And she was in it.
Yeah, she knew.
Right?
She knew.
So, like, that's a dead giveaway. She knew, we all knew, but it still bugs me that the speech is like, do what's best for your game. I do want to stay, but do what's best for your game. And I'm like, go down fighting. I get mad when I hear that. I'm like, swing, like
You do hate that.
like chase that.
But you got to remember, she probably knew she was going home for the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I know,
right?
But
Like,
can happen. Change their mind.
Anything can happen, but you know what? Sometimes when you're in that situation and sometimes that there is no changing the person's mind.
Do you guys remember is it Dan Giesling?
Yes.
Do you remember his funeral speech? Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up and we're gonna have to like put a clip on our Instagram or something. But like anybody listening, go look it up on YouTube. But there was a season, because I think he was in more than one season, but there was one season where he was like nailed against the wall. Like he was going home and he organized his own funeral in the house. Now, I mean, obviously you wouldn't be able to recreate this now, I wouldn't imagine, but he organized his own funeral in the house and he had a funeral because he knew he was going home. And he like had this big speech for like all these house guests. And I mean, or going back years. So I would have to go back to like give you all the details. But basically that one speech that he said where he would like talk about like he wanted this life in the game and it was over and all this sort of stuff, it changed every single person's mind and they ended up flipping the vote and keeping him. And I think he might've won that season. Like I think he won. And it was like, so every time I get to this fucking going home speech and somebody doesn't like give something, a little fire in your belly, you know what I mean? Like that, it always makes me so angry. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, what was that? Like once in a lifetime situation where it's gonna switch right at the end, kind of thing, you know?
I'm always thinking, like, why the fuck not? Why not? Just
But in her defense, the vibe changes in that house drastically when the decision has been made and there's no going back. People avoid you. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot that changes in the house where you're pretty much on your own. Like you literally would have to force yourself into rooms for people to probably get up and walk out. Like it does get to that point, right?
I don't like that feeling.
What?
I don't like that feeling. Yeah, like I'm already mad about it.
Yeah. We have an audition.
So I mean, you don't know that could have happened to her. I mean, I don't watch live feeds or anything like that, but it drastically changes in the house when the mind is made up.
I could see that though.
It makes me so sad.
But I mean, listen, we even saw that like last night's episode because when she was outside of the room and everybody else was in the room, and then
Yep.
Derek X made that comment about, well, we already know she's going
That's right.
home.
Mhm.
They
People avoid
all
you, right?
knew, right? And she was out there and she was just like, well, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
It does nothing to boost your confidence level either, right? Like,
No.
so.
Cool. I guess I'll just go fuck myself, guys. See you later.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sin. So based on our conversation, I'm sure people listening can guess. It was a 10-0 vote. Whitney got evicted. She held herself very well though. And
I was gonna follow that up. Are you talking about her interview with Julie?
so good.
You know what? I wished we had have seen more of that inside the house,
Thinking the same thing.
because she became so likable to me
Yeah.
at that moment.
Yep. Yeah. Like, and I felt like Julie really enjoyed talking. Like, you know, I love Brent, like I really do, but like Julie was really pulling. He was still in shock when he was evicted, right?
Oh God, yeah.
He was trying to pull questions out of him, and I don't think he fully even understood that he was outside of the house at that point. So like that she didn't seem as excited about that. But this one, Julie was like, you could see she was ready to get into the questions with Whitney, and Whitney was handling herself so well. And I was just, it made me sad that she was gone.
Yeah,
I know.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I love that we all felt like that.
Yeah. But I mean, the worst part is that like when you have such, like you said, when you have such a huge alliance in there, like who do you pick off?
Honestly.
right.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like the power needs to get out of the alliance's hand, but there's so many people in it that the numbers are just for the alliance, right? So that this is another reason why it's a house vote every time. It's
Yeah.
not like, I mean, I think, you know, the teams probably created the big alliance, but
Yeah.
now the big alliance is there. So it may still continue to be a house vote unless somebody outside the alliance wins the endurance competition, right? So, which is tricky because it's an endurance competition and the alliance has the big wigs, you know, the ones that Frenchie wanted to fucking pick off.
But you know what? The wall challenge, that's going to be a hard one for the big
guys.
comp guys to win.
Yes.
I think you're going to see one of the tinier, you know, framed people take this one.
It's one of my favorite competitions.
I know, I love it. Yeah.
You know, you can watch it live, right? You can actually go online now and watch it live.
I did
HBO
hear
65.
that.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
So Tina's going now after this.
Right.
No, Tina will be going to bed.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Same.
Crystal too.
I still got to wash my makeup off. Me and Crystal recorded earlier, so I left it on for that recording. And then by the time it was done, Big Brother was on, and now I'm recording. I'm like, am I gonna go to sleep with makeup on, or should I just like? Normally, I'm like, and I just don't.
I'm like, I just look like this.
I keep my makeup off for our Big Brother stuff because it's so late. Like I wash my face before we record, so I can just like go to bed from this chair to bed. And now I'm like, it's another activity. And anyway, that was fucking off topic. It's just what I was thinking of. Sorry, guys. One question.
Trials and tribulations of Melissa.
Right?
This is I had to wash my face before bed. It's a lot. Okay,
Tina. You got the mug.
For anybody who's not watching and you're listening, Tina is drinking out of a mug that says yes bye, and Crystal is drinking out of one that says oh me nerves. And I'm wearing my yes bye hat, but I'm not cool enough to have a mug yet. Sorry, lady.
I mean, representing all around ladies. Way to go.
We love the best kind apparel.com. So please go on that website and buy all the stuff that we're talking about. All the same, this hat is, and I mean, Crystal wore hers her whole trip.
I did.
They're nice hats, eh?
Yeah. Really comfortable. And it makes us look super cute. So
right.
Keep it
Which is really the most important part.
the only reason I bought it.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tina, I like you too, but it's the only reason I bought it is because I was like, that'll make me look super cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the show. So my next question, it is a Tina specific question. So when Whitney was evicted, we did hear, because like you can kind of eavesdrop on everybody, and you could hear, I think it was Tiffany told Kylan, you already peed. She's like, well, she didn't say those words, but she's like, you already went. You could tell that they were all talking about going to the bathroom. So was there ever a time in your time in the Big Brother house where you were like busting to pee, but you weren't allowed because you were in a competition or during like a live eviction or something?
No, I was always prepared. I would go right before.
Mhm.
It never happened to me. So,
Who did it happen to?
not that I'm aware of.
Who did it happen to the most? Spicy V.
Honestly, we were all pretty good in terms of, when you had to go, like you knew that, okay, let's go now and get her done
Yeah.
because you didn't know what the competition was going to be. So,
It could be
you
hours.
had to make sure everything was all emptied out, right?
Yeah. No, the reason I ask is because I feel like Kyland was a little bit like me, like in that situation, because I have a nervous bladder. So I could go right before the eviction. And then knowing that I got like 2 minutes before the competition starts, I would have to go again because all of a sudden I would be busting.
Yeah.
And I would pee. There's it just builds up like that, it regenerates and like good to go.
Well, I mean, I guess worst case, push came to shove, you could always request some, Depends or something or whatever.
Yeah.
I took him to the hospital and I had my baby, so
Melissa would need them. The only way that it would really bother me is if they put an ATM in front of me. I don't know why. Just every time I stand in front of an ATM, I have to pee.
I was waiting for a punchline.
No, it's true. It's weird. I have absolutely no idea why, but unless
Melissa, the face on you was like,
I
like,
where are we
get it.
going with this?
did not understand fucking at all what you're talking about. But now I get it. So you get
Yes.
pee. I've got Walmart poop. If you ever
Right.
see me in Walmart, know that I have to poo. I won't do it. But the second I go in there and I start shopping, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this quick. Like,
I believe before we came on the air, we were talking about shit, and now we're getting ready to finish. And we're
Full
talking
circle.
about shit again.
Full circle.
closing by return.
Love it.
Okay. So yeah, we're back to Big Brother. We're at the first endurance competition. Let's make our predictions. Who's winning? I've got well, three.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, we get 3 picks now, do we?
I do.
I do. To ensure that what? Oh God, I see how you're doing this, Melissa. I see.
Right?
Can I just give you applause because last week Tina predicted that Christian would win the veto and he would be like the double winner or whatever, double week solo thing, and you were right. So
Good call.
But I only have 1 pick. She wants 3 picks.
Okay, Tina, let me roll my eyes a little harder. I gave you your flowers. What do you want? You're welcome. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna say yes. We can all for 3. I think Tiff or Xavier were the first 2 I put down because I feel like they would be determined. Xavier, I feel like he's a like a muscly guy, but he's not like a big guy. So I feel like he might be like super determined and like might do well in this challenge. I think Tiffany is smaller, equally determined. I think she has good endurance anyway. So those 2 are like my picks. But then also I kind of want to throw Alyssa in there because she's the smallest person in the house. And I think that could be an advantage.
I think my 3, if I'm going to pick 3, would be either, let me see, or maybe I'll just go 4. No,
Why not?
Just pick them all. Fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it.
go for it.
I'm gonna pick them all.
Pick 10. Who are the top 10? You think?
The 3 I think most likely to win this challenge are either Hannah, Hannah, Alyssa, and Derek X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on board with Derek X.
Mm.
I think maybe Tiffany was one of my tops as well. And then I think maybe probably Christian as well.
Christian
Oh,
can't play.
really?
Oh, right. He can't play. Fucking duh.
He's already off the wall. Cool.
Shut up. Okay. So then I'm just gonna stick with 2. I don't even need 3.
Oh.
You guys.
Brush that dirt right off your shoulder.
Let's take a guess at who goes down first.
Derek.
Yeah,
Easy.
Derek F.
He's fallen. Or
Yeah.
Brittany. Because did you see her when it started? She's rubbing her pants a lot. Her hands are sweaty before the rain.
Yeah.
So
That'd be my problem.
yeah, I think one of those two are dropping first. Aren't they both on the end too?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, I
can't
can't
remember.
pay attention.
Yeah, me either. I wasn't
Well,
looking at
I think it's
placement.
going to be one of my 3 picks that who's going to take it.
So
Yeah.
Alyssa then, because that's the only crossover we have.
No, Derek X is what she meant.
Alyssa, Derek X. So I have Alyssa with Melissa, and
Yeah.
I have Derek X with Crystal.
That's right.
All right, so obviously
We're right, Tina.
One of Tina's picks or mine. Okay. So it's because you're gone, Crystal. You're on the side
okay.
here.
She
I'm
is
okay.
I'm just kidding. All right, guys, that was an episode of Two Girls One Pod. I was about to gear up our exit music, but I didn't actually get it ready ahead of time.
Oh,
Mm.
So maybe I'll do a little
Shocker.
I don't like these girls.
Do you want me to sing?
Okay.
oh wow, no.
Yes.
No.
Drop a beat.
No. I can't do any of that. I'd be like, Christian.
Tina, do your Big Brother rap from Big Brother Canada.
Oh Jesus, I don't know all that.
Just your verse.
It's Blue Line. What do you add? Canada's got my back.
Woo!
On
You
that,
heard it here.
we're gonna leave it. We can't top that. Mic has been dropped.
Done.
That's it. All right. So tune in. Actually, guys, if you want to keep listening to us, we have a new fresh episode, Friday episode that you can listen to as well. And other than that, tune back in.
Yes, and I hear you're talking about some interesting topics.
We've got a really interesting topic for today's
Interesting.
pod. So if you want to hear about wedding proposals and bald coochies, feel free to, to log on and listen. On that note, guys, we will see you on Sunday.
Oh God.